Alright, so welcome back to Close Enough Garage. Today we're going to be putting some underglows on a bike. It's a really simple job. It's not a whole lot of involvement, it's just a whole lot of planning. So that way you're running your wires right, you got them tucked and hidden how they should be. We've started the first steps already. I've got her saddlebags off, her seat off, and her tank unbolted. Side covers are off. It's just to give us access to things. My wife's going to be coming out here soon and helping us. She's got to do some cleaning, and then it's her bike. So rather than having me do everything for her, she wants to learn and she wants to be taught. And I think that's pretty awesome. To start, we had to take some old stuff off. Now, the previous owner of this bike had something under each saddlebag to throw some light on the ground, and it wasn't great. So what these ended up being, I looked the part number up on them. Those are LED lights for a GE industrial sign. If that isn't bad enough, he had them super glued and flex glued to the bottom of the saddlebags. The one saddlebag he actually tried to cut trying to get the lights to sit in flush, and then gave up and just glued them right to the bottom. So that was awesome of him. Wife's got to do some leather work to fix the saddlebags now. And then to make things better, he had a 3-wire home extension cord. He just cut the middle wire down, trimmed these back, and wire nutted them to the input wires on the lights, and ran them up into the bike and shoved them into the connectors for the tail light, and then shoved the tail light connectors back in together and just kind of pinched it all together so it would cinch up. It was horrible, and you don't want to do that. And the reason for it is it's not a whole lot of money to be able to run legitimate underglow. If you want to do it, I think I've put in a video or pictures or thumbnails somewhere of my VTX. It has underglow on it. I don't have it on rodeo because of how low the bike sits and how minimal I wanted to keep everything. The bike's barely got a headlight and tail light on it. I don't even think I've got the turn signals hooked up, honestly. I never use them anyway. I'm a dickhead. But if you want to do underglow, dude, go on Amazon. You knew I was going to say that. Get these cheap kits. I can't remember. This one was like $35. But it's so simple, man. It comes with everything. It's got a whole fistful of zip ties in with it. You have all your individual LED lights. It does any color you can imagine. You can change the colors on the fly. It's got wire extensions. You have a remote for your lights. You have a key fob for the lights that works real well. There's more lights in the bag. Your control module, you've got a switch you can wire on that's an on and off permanent, so that way you can turn it on and off when you want, or you can have them where they're always on, whatever you want. There's more lights in here. They give you a ton of light options. They give you good wire length. I wouldn't suggest going cheaper than the $35 kit because, like, we got one before and I ended up returning it because I didn't realize how janky it was. But they would give you just a few bars that were this long, and it would have the wire coming in and a wire out, so you would chain them together to get them to work. But then you only had this much space between the next light. So, like, if you wanted light all the way over here, but not right here, this you could run all the way up to your next connector. The other lights, it would have a light right here, one on this end, and you'd have all this light where you didn't want it. So these cheap kits are great. Just don't go too cheap. Kind of look at the pictures, the description, make sure it's got all the cool stuff in it. Also has an inline fuse and everything else. Now, I did test it in my lap the other day. I had a motorcycle battery sitting inside. I was charging up. And I've got spare lights from the other times I've ran underglow on my bike and others. And these actually work just fine with her kit as well. So we've got spare lights we can run if she wants it. Her favorite color is green. That's probably what we're gonna end up with, is green lights on her bike. So that's pretty much it. She's got a few things she's tidying up inside. Once she's done with all of that, she'll be out here. I'm gonna put her right on cleaning, and that's gonna be the important part to start off with, is figure out where you want your lights at and then clean it. Because like if you want them on the bottom of the bike's frame where it's close to the ground, you get all your light down there. You want them under your fuel tank so it shines light down on the engine and exhaust. Maybe some inside your swing arm or your fender mounts in the rear where it shines down on your rear fender. Wherever you want to put them, you're going to want it clean, because almost all these lights come with double-sided tape. And to kind of further bolster that tape, I like to put just a thin line of gel super glue up the middle of it. And just kind of stick them on. I'm trying to bend this one straight. It's bent from sitting in the box. There, we got it mostly straight now. That'll straighten up as it heats up outside. It's only 50 degrees out here right now. But yeah, just a thin line and put it up there. But if your bike is dirty, if your mounting locations are dirty, the glue's not going to stick, the tape's not going to stick, you're not going to get nothing but more dirt to stick. So you want a good solid mounting surface. That way you're not riding down the road and notice one of your lights when you pull into a gas station, look and see one of your lights hanging underneath the bike and drag it half to death. So she's going to come out. Once she comes out, we're going to get working on that, and I'll do a little bit of filming on that and film the process of finding the locations. And she just walked out here right now, so we'll get the locations on where we're putting them, get the surfaces prepped and cleaned up. It's real easy, just glass cleaner and a couple of rags. And I'll go over how we decide what wires and where we're talking. So to start, we've got everything separated by length, although in a way that's kind of irrelevant. I'll get to that in a minute. What we're going to do is everywhere that she wants a light, so like along that swing arm bar, up under her fender mounts inside of the fender, under the bike, under the edge of the fuel tank, under the edge of the fuel clean or air cleaner. We're going to find the lengths that fit best and just kind of do like a dry test fit. So say if we're putting one of these ones up under the fuel tank, we kind of put them under where it's going to go without getting it, stuck on there yet. And then that gives us a lot of opportunity to run the wire and find out where the wire is going to go and make sure we can get everything tucked and zip tied up in there nice and cleanly and have a clean install. And then once you get those all ran to where you're going to have your control box mounted, then you can go ahead and start getting the lights mounted where you want. And it's basically as easy as peeling the double-sided tape off. If you want to use just that, use just that. As I said, I do a very thin bead of super glue down the center of the tape as well. Just a little bit of extra assurance. I'm sure it probably doesn't need that, but I like to be special. So, one more cool thing about these style of LED lights is, let's say you've got a space where you only need like the width of 3 of these LEDs, and it's just real short, like where we're going to put it, right up under the air cleaner here. So we just need a short one. So what we'll do is you take that end cap off of it right there, if it'll focus. Oh, come on, you bastard. There we go, that clear end cap. And then you take a pair of scissors or snippers, whatever, cut it right across that line right down the middle of those copper bands. And now you've got an LED that's only 3 lights long, so you can tuck a small one up into a real tight space. Alright, so what she's doing here is she's test fitting this one down on the swing arm bar. And as I just told her, if you think about it, put it up top, on the bottom, or on the outside, and it's going to shine light there, but people are also going to see the light bar real clear. So if you want light there, you got to find out the place where the light bar is the least visible. Now, someone's always going to see a light bar here and there, but it's a lot better than the sport bikes that just stick them all over the outside of the bodywork and leave them. Of course, that's all personal taste, but I don't really think that looks the best. So then once you do that, we got the wires already ran up through a little hole here, and we're going to terminate everything in this area, tie it off to this stuff, and then tie it off across this bar. So that way it sits nice and neat and tidy under the seat where nobody sees anything. So now she's got the length, we'll go ahead and leave those hang there. She's going to go do the other side. And once we get the lengths all done and she puts everything in where the wires are going to come in through, we'll go ahead, mount the lights, and then pull the wires tight along stuff. And wherever they're also going to be least visible, drop in a zip tie here and there. And keep them off your wheel, off your chain, and all that good stuff too. So while she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and shorten a light for going under that air cleaner. And we'll keep working. Alright, so where she's at with this, she's working on sizing it out for the very front, just behind the crash bar there. We got another one that's going to fit along this frame rail. Now, problem is, that's going to leave short wires. That's what a lot of these kits come with, extension wire. This Y will be perfect for the job. I've also got ones that have that's 6 plugs coming off of it. And that'll drop it down closer to the bottom of the engine, so you can utilize those as well. And I'm not sure. Yeah. We got a couple more extensions here. These ones are nice. Those are perfect. Those will be single extensions. And then we have another one that's got 4 on that. So she should be good. Oh, and another 4 extension. So we'll be plenty good to go ahead and run these lights wherever she needs to have them run. So we're at the point where we're starting to tuck wires now. We have a light up under here. She's got one here. That's going to be mostly hidden by the saddlebag, so you won't see the bar. It's only going to throw light. She does have to fix the way the guy hacked up the saddlebags, though, so that's why they're off right now. I got the wires coming in. I've got the control box here. The switch is mounted over on her side. One note I wanted to make for everybody is when you have zip ties like this, go ahead, get yourself a pair of side cutters, flush cutters, and you're going to cut that off right flush with the zip tie housing. Don't be a dickhead that leaves a sharp piece of plastic hanging out, because whoever works on the bike is going to get cut on it, and it looks horrible too. So go ahead, take a second, do the right way. You can pick these kind of cutters up for like $5 at Harbor Freight, dude. There's like no excuse not to have them. So we got it all done. She has light everywhere. Now, like I said, the saddlebags are going to be covering a lot of this right here, so you're not going to see a light bar, just the lights that it makes elsewhere. We have them all matched up side to side, so she's got the same amount of light on both sides. Now, it's kind of, I know some people have a hard time visualizing, so basically what we're going to have when it's done and it's all put back together is going to be quite a bit like the VTX here with its purple lights. I got them run almost the exact same way too, so very similar to hers. It's going to light up everything. I've only got one on each side for my rear wheel though, instead of 2 on each side, so hers is going to be a little brighter back there. But that's the basic overall look. Very easy job. Go ahead and turn the overheads back on. A couple things I want to point out real quick. There is a bolt right here. I have the negative wire for the control box grounded straight off of that, and it's going to tuck up under the seat. Control box is here. I've got it running out for the battery wire down to the battery. It's got a fuse in the link, so that way keep everything protected. And then we have all this right here. What I'm basically going to do is scrunch it together, zip tie around it, and then zip tie everything to the top side of this metal bar here, so that way it's away from the monoshock that's down there. Let's see, throw a light on that. Got her monoshock in there. So we'll keep all that protected from it. Now, she will eventually be doing a lot of the work to get this bike done up just like Rodeo there. Slammed, air ride, big wheels, stretched out, the whole 9 yards. But I want to get her on this for this year and get her learning how to ride it. And then once she learns all that, she figures out her way on this, she'll move up to a bigger bike like a VTX or a Shadow 1100. Once she has a bigger bike, we'll go ahead and start cutting this one to pieces.